Hey everyone, Gary here from Rock Solid Productions, and we are doing another one of our system spotlights, basically featuring gameplay on one specific system going through the RetroTink 5X. If this is your first time to the channel, just want to take a second to say thank you for stopping by, checking out what we have going on here today. We have an entire playlist dedicated towards the RetroTink 5X, going through a number of different systems, plus unboxing, initial setup, how to update the firmware and everything along those lines. So heading on over to our television, we do have the remote overlay that we did recently feature on the channel. If you haven't seen that yet, I'll have that checked out for you right about there. So as you can see, we are on the RetroTink 5X Pro firmware version 1.67. I actually just updated the firmware right before starting this recording. For settings on here, we will go through here. As you can see, input YPB PR. I am using HD Retrovision Component video cables specifically designed for the PlayStation 2. For output, I am using 1080p over. For H sampling, I am using the PS1 384. For interpolation, I am using Sharp. That's what soft looks like. I think this kind of clears up some of the blurriness a little bit more, so I'm going to stick with the Sharp. Scan lines, I have off right now. There's polyphase, and that's one of the cool things about the new firmware is Mike has tweaked the scan line, so there's polyphase 25%, 50%. Internal mod 25%, int mod, I don't know what that's supposed to be. There's 50%, 75, slot mask, which is kind of a unique look, kind of a honeycomb kind of look. Grill, which it's okay. It's kind of a PVM look for you. 100% integer. That's kind of an LCD look for you. And off. We will be leaving scan lines off. For vertical sync, I have it set to triple buffer. Deinterlace, I have motion adaptive. For the YC filter, I have 4-line comb. Color space RGB full. I have the low pass filter set to strong. That's off. Light, medium, and strong. And I'm not sure what this preamp filter is. It's one of the new features that I have to read up a little bit about. Since I don't know what it is, I'm leaving it to 0. Light gun border is off. I don't need that right now. 240p downscale, don't need that either. And then again, version 1.67 and the bunny logo here. So we're going to start off with some God of War 2 for the PlayStation 2. And man, this is an awesome game, and I will say it looks absolutely stunning going through the RetroTink 5X. So one of the things that I've always loved about God of War, the entire series, has been just the combos and everything. Oh yeah, look at that. I also like the fact that they have kept, with each of the series except for the latest one obviously, you basically still have all of your weapons from previous games, so you're not starting from scratch, and it's definitely one of those just unique sort of hack and slash that just, there's just something stupid that is so, just, it's terrific about, oh yeah! Oh, check that out, that was amazing! But this looks great, you know, like with all of the, you know, systems I've played through the RetroTink 5X. No lag, no delay. I mean, this is exactly what you want it to be. The one thing I forget about this game is the fact that the right analog stick is actually what makes you roll and dive in this game, where I normally would be reaching for an action button. Oh, check that out, yes! Oh, I got hit there. But man, doesn't this look fantastic? Oh yeah! I mean, this is just the opening level of God of War 2, and it just looks so good. Oh God, I love this game. I don't play this series nearly enough. And I actually haven't even really gotten into the one for the PS4. It's actually something that you can get for free as a PlayStation Plus subscriber, and I've played like 20 minutes on it, but that's about it. Oh, check that out. Yes! And granted, it's not as, you know, not PlayStation 3 quality, not PlayStation 4, clearly not PlayStation 5, but man, this still looks amazing for what it is. Gotta figure this is 15 plus years old, but look at how amazing. Oh, all right, I have to move on, otherwise I will keep playing this all night long because it's an amazing game. I mean, that's one of the things, is the God of War series is simply terrific. But here you can, get a really good idea of what it looks like, how it plays, and everything going through the RetroTink 5X. We are going to move on to our next title. Up next, this is one of my favorite games on the PS2. This is Black, and what I like about this is I'm not good at first-person shooters. I never have been, but this is just one of the most fun games in the genre. Now, one of the things is, since it is so early, you don't exactly have all the exact controls that you'll find in newer games. Plus, the position of different actions is different than what you would expect. But one of the things that's so awesome about Black is how destructible the environments are. So we've got a guy right here. And for that, it was actually R1, not R2. Whoop! And there was another guy there, and I didn't realize it. Got him! And we also have the option to pick up an AK-47 here. There we go. Good draw distance and everything on here. Very responsive game. Now, one thing I will say too is the fact that with the first game I was playing, I could actually use the PS1 analog stick or analog controller, the DualShock or twin stick controller. With this, I actually have to have the PS2 controller. Alright, let's try to get a headshot here. Got him! Alright, where are you guys? I can hear you. Like I say, this environment is totally destructible. So let's shoot that board there. We should be able to hop down. There we go. Whoa, someone's shooting at me from over there. Oh, we're going to go ahead and pick up the spaz, whatever you want to call it. Gotcha! You are dead now. I mean, just incredible game, great gameplay. And it's one of those that it looks great going through the RetroTink 5X. I said it before, I'll say it again, no lag, no delay. It's just playing exactly as it should be. Oh. Shot dude's leg out from him. Wow. I had to have missed something because guys were coming from back here. Aha! I did miss something back here. If you're a fan of the first-person shooter genre, I would say definitely give this a look. Black is a fantastic game, and it is also on the Xbox 360. I believe it's on Game Pass if you would want to go ahead and sign up for that. I know that I have played it a little bit on the Xbox using Game Pass, and I've enjoyed it. Surprise! Boom! Shot him in the back. You know what we're going to do? We're going to blow this sucker up right there. because yes, we can do that. Got it. Now the one thing in this game is you can't really run, which is kind of disappointing. It's one of the gameplay mechanics I wish that they would have had in here. And again, this game is just, I'm not doing anything special with it. I'm just using component video cables, go into the RetroTink 5X, and you can all see how wonderful this looks. I mean, this is a game that I can spend hours on. Oh, that was not good. As I got someone shooting at me from in here. Don't pull a bird of prey 5! I pulled a bird of prey 5. All right, that's black. It's excellent. Let's move on to our next game. One of my favorite games is Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, and it's so amazing at what you could do in this game. I mean, from the destructible environments like that to being able to fight as Vader's secret apprentice and whatnot, it's just an amazing game. Now, this also does support progressive scan mode, which I have now turned on. So I did not know until recently that I actually know someone who knows the person who did the voice of Darth Vader in this, who was actually Chad Vader. Very cool to know that. Now, granted, this is probably the lowest quality version of this game since it came out on the 360, it came out on the PS3, and it also came out on the Xbox, the PS3, and the Wii. Yeah, that's right. I mean, this doesn't look as good as the PS3 version. It just doesn't. But for what it is, it looks really good. Got him. I just love throwing Wookiees around in this. You know, Wookiees, you deserve to die. L1 and push. Okay, so L1 to repulse. There we go. And the quarterback is toast. Wait, no, wrong movie. Just tossing a Wookiee around. What are you doing tonight? But this is Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, the original version. And I still think it is one of my favorite, actually I know it's one of my favorite Star Wars games of all time, just because of what you can do, the Force abilities that you have, the character gameplay, the story. It's a great story. And I don't think the second one was as good. It was still good. Hold the enemy until, okay, once you press L1 and, okay. So do that. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Another holocron there. I mean, you gotta just love a game that you can throw a lightsaber in and impale a Wookiee. And yes, I know I passed up health there. I'm okay with that. Yeah! I still think this game looks great for what it is. Again, the fact that it was available on the PS2 or PS2 is great, even though it wasn't the original system that it was designed for. All right, we are going to move on to one of my favorite racing games of all time, because again, this is one of those, the PS2 had so many great games, and if I don't move on, I'm going to get stuck playing this all night long, and we will never get to our next game. So, true story, back when I was really racing on-road RC cars a lot, we would go every year to Southern California to the Tamiya North American Finals, and it was held in Aliso Viejo, California. We would take PlayStation 2s with us to practice Gran Turismo when we weren't at the track, just to try to get more trigger time, as it were. Now, I may have to mute the music on this just because it does have a lot of licensed music, and I don't want to get hit with a content ID match. I also preferred the Gran Turismo mode over arcade mode. It just felt more realistic. One of the things that many people may not realize is you can actually use the analog sticks as throttle and brake in addition to the left stick for steering. And we have 10,000 credits, so what do we want to get? Mazda RX-7 isn't bad, and that may be what we get. Suzuki, no. Civics, okay. Celica's a decent car. Skyline's too much. That's the Nissan Silvia. There we go. That's what we want. It looked great back in the day, and I'm hoping it looks even better now. I mean, even stupid things like the red and blue there still look really, really sharp and vibrant as far as the colors themselves. So now here you can actually see I am using the right stick to get ready to drive. All right. Nice pass on the inside there, keep the momentum up. Now something like this, since it is box stock, it's not going to drive the greatest. Ooh, got a good line coming up here through the chicane. Trying to drive in just a little bit too hard. Need to back up the corner a little bit. Ooh. His rear bumper became my brakes. And again, the thing that's fun about this is the fact that this is basically a box stock car as far as, stock tires, stock suspension. There's no changes made to this. I always thought these spec type races were super fun because it was more about driving and driving something that drives terribly. Oh, way too hot. Try to the inside. Got it on the rumble strips. Made the pass. Coming around. Got the win. We're going to try one more in the A-Spec series. Super fun. Absolutely love, love, love Gran Turismo. We're going to actually go to the high-speed ring. This is one of my favorite tracks in all of Gran Turismo. It's got a good flow to it, good balance between high speed and flowing corners. Overall, just a fun, fun track. Oh, and this is a standing start too. All right, we're already up to fourth. So one of the reasons why I like the Nissan Silvia is the fact that it's got good speed, but also handles pretty decently as well. All right, good line through there. Five-second lead already, halfway through the first lap. Again, the Nissan Silvia is a great way to get started in pretty much any of the Gran Turismo games. Ooh, car got loose at speed there. Now, one thing too about the DualShock controller for the PS2 is the triangle, the cross, the circle, and the square buttons are pressure sensitive. So in addition to being able to use the analog stick for gas and brake, I can do the same thing with the cross and the square button, but with that it's pressure sensitive too. Not to the same extent as what 10-second lead, as what the analog stick provides, but still pretty darn good. A lot of times what I have always found with Gran Turismo, yeah, that does make sense. What I have found often in Gran Turismo, and the same kind of goes with my RC racing, is it's not necessarily throttle and brake, but how much are you coasting? How long are you off throttle and off the brake to keep your roll speed up? decent line through there. Also, with any racing game, if you hear the tires squealing, that means that you're sliding more than anything else, and you're scrubbing speed. It's costing you time and performance. Because what it's doing, and right now what it is it's the rear tires on this car that are sliding because the rear end just doesn't have enough grip going through that final corner there. And you can actually see the right side tires in the lower left hand corner turning green. They're getting temperature into them, which in sometimes can help with grip. Other times if they overheat, it's going to cost you grip. Time for one last game, and it is one of my favorites of all time. Now, it's well known I am a huge fan of Earthworm Jim. I may be a bigger Ratchet and Clank fan, and I love Earthworm Jim. I absolutely adore the characters, the gameplay, the performance, the overall just enjoyment of the game. And we're going to go ahead, we're going to dive into our save state that we have here. It's been a little bit since I've been able to play. Now, I have recently finished Ratchet and Clank A Rift Apart for the PlayStation 5. It's wonderful. It is so good. Now, I have also beaten this multiple times on the remaster for the PlayStation 4. A little bit different, but it does give you perspective into this game. Now, this doesn't look as good as the PS4 remaster. But you know what? It still looks pretty dang good. And if you've never played Ratchet and Clank, you owe it to yourself, especially if you like collectathons, because that's essentially what Ratchet and Clank is one huge collectathon. It just has some of the best, great tight gameplay, great story, great weapons. I mean, everything in this game is basically a character. I mean, the weapons are characters, especially when you get, I don't know if Mr. Zircon is in this one or not, but when you get to Mr. Zircon, you know, he's not only a weapon, but a character. Now, one thing that is different in this game is the fact that instead of using the triggers to fire, you actually use the circle button to fire your weaponry. And in later games, too, you also had, it wasn't an option as much as just the way the gameplay worked. When you were selecting your weapons, it would actually pause the gameplay so that you wouldn't get hit like I just did there. One great thing too, again, about the entire series is the fact the more that you use a weapon, you get rewarded. It actually powers up and you get, you know, stronger weapons down the road the more that you use. Damn sand sharks. More that you use your weapons. So in a lot of games you have to kind of hoard your ammo and kind of hold off on using your weapons because you don't want to lose them. But in Ratchet and Clank, it's one of those where the more you use it, the better your weapons get, and I absolutely love that. In some ways, especially with the earlier games with collecting the bolts and everything, even reminds me of some of the mechanics from like some of the Lego games, and that's not meant as an insult. I mean, that's the Lego games can be just stupid fun sometimes. Now, part of the problem with me on this game right now, too, is the fact that having played the remaster, the controls are slightly different. The game mechanics are just different enough that, not that I'm struggling, but it's one of those of I've got to rethink, all right, this is this version of this game versus what I had been playing more recently. You know, again, I mean, granted, it's a PS2 game, so you got to keep that in mind. You know, for what it is, it looks really good. Got him. It is amazing to think, too, that Ratchet and Clank turns 20 years old in 2022. This game is from 2002. So overall, I have to again say that, you know, Mike Chi has done a great job with the RetroTink 5X. This is, you know, just a beautiful way to play the PS2. It looks great. It plays tight. No lag, no delay, no latency built into it. Now, at the time of this filming in early August of 2021, the first and second waves of RetroTink 5Xs have shipped. Make sure you are following Mike on Twitter at RetroTink2 to get the most up-to-date information regarding when he is going to have another batch in. According to him, chip shortages be damned, he's going to still create and ship out as many 5Xs as he can. Now, if you do have any other comments or questions about the RetroTink 5X or anything we've shown you here today, first and foremost, check out our full-blown RetroTink 5X playlist that we have. We've gone through and done a review on it. We've played with a number of different systems. It's pretty comprehensive. You can also go ahead and check out some of the other individual systems that we've checked out, such as we've done the Saturn, we've done the Dreamcast, we've done the original Xbox, we've done the original PlayStation. Go ahead, you can also email me if you have any other comments or questions, or leave your comments down below, but email me at rocksolidmail@gmail.com. You can send me a message on Twitter at RockSolidStudios. We are on Facebook at facebook.com/RockSolidProductions and Instagram at Instagram.com/RockSolidProductionsGK. Now, I am, like I mentioned earlier, using HD Retrovision cables to play this on my television. If you are looking to pick some of those up or any modern or retro gaming accessories, make sure that you check out CastlemaniaGames.com. The cool thing over there is his feature called Castle Cash, where basically the more you spend, the more you earn towards future purchases, and Castle Cash is just like cash. Plus, one of the cool things that he will have there, it's not there yet, is the new, I believe it's called the Defender controllers coming from Retro Fighters that basically will be a wireless controller for the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. Ryan will have those available in stock when they start shipping. You can also go ahead and use promo code ROCKSOLID10 to save 10% off of most items on the website. And if you like what you see here, if you want to see more, like always, feel free, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification. That way each and every time we upload new content, you are kept informed and up to date. I love how the PlayStation 2 looks on this. It looks absolutely wonderful, and I am so glad that it looks as good as it does as I just died. Come on, Ratchet, don't you die, you Lombax, and I died. Well, anyways, I am Gary. This has been Rock Solid Productions and our look at the PlayStation 2 going through the RetroTink 5X. Now, if you're looking for any more videos on the RetroTink 5X or any other gaming videos, those videos are coming up for you right now. Thank you for watching this video. If you would like to support the future of Rock Solid Productions, you can do so by visiting our Patreon page at patreon.com/rocksolid. For as little as $1 a month, $12 a year, you'll get early access to all of our video content, exclusive content, and a whole lot more. You can also become a channel member here on YouTube for as little as $1.99 a month, and with that, you get a badge next to your name when you comment or post on the channel, and you are acknowledged whether you are a channel member or a Patreon supporter at the end of each and every one of our videos. You can also support the channel by visiting our Teespring store on screen now, where we have t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, masks, cell phone cases, and much more. Again, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon.